17, 18, 19 does not deem you to be.
It doesn't matter.
Psychologically
You're not
sane.
11,
I'm
though.
still right.
But we also lose your virginity. Cut the bullshit. When did you lose your virginity?
14.
Thank you. When did you lose your virginity? 14.
But not to a 22-year-old man.
So I can go back. I can go buy a whole shotgun.
it wasn't
I can buy a whole shotgun from the store at 18, but I can't get no pussy.
My age gap. What I'm saying is y'all was grown enough to be fucking.
But I won't fucking somebody in their 30s,
Hey,
though.
but hold up. So
That makes it a
check
little
it.
different.
So I can go to the
Did I
army.
just tell everybody when I lost my virginity?
Grown.
You can let your hair down. Tonight we gon' do something special. You can let your hair down.
Thank y'all for tuning in to WWJD, the podcast.
Ooh.
And I'm a little salty. Because it be your own people. Them. The family. The new family. I love y'all.
Yeah.
And I missed y'all. I'm glad we all had.
How do you treat the new family?
I treat y'all with
Behind the
respect.
scenes. Behind the scenes.
Tell us the truth about. She literally just cussed everybody out before we
I did
started.
not.
She
Right
did.
before.
I'm
Tell
pat-
the truth, Brittany.
I'm
She did.
passionate
Yeah.
about the things that I say. But anyway, we got all of us this time. We've been missing my boy.
I'm back.
He came back.
I'm in the
He's
game.
back home. We got Sean up there. Can't tell him nothing. Look, we still fussing about episode 2. We have not gotten over that shit. And this is hear me out, family. Hear me out. And y'all tell me. Tell me if I'm wrong, please.
Wrong.
That I disagree with them and I say he was talking about some bullshit when all I was saying is I don't agree. I just don't agree that if a couple is in conflict, that it's okay for somebody to tap out of the conflict. Now, I do believe there is a place and a time for everything, but it should at least be amicable enough that both parties are at least okay until the vacation is over. How is that? How do you feel about that?
Next question.
Oh, we doing that? 'Cause this is family business.
Why?
Do you want to get it off your chest now? Because I don't want to talk about it no more.
I have no further comment.
Man, pleading the fifth.
Play it
That's fair.
safe,
You gotta
Sean.
understand.
That's fair.
I'll just say it depends on the situation because that determines. For example, I had an incident like a week ago, and I went off on my husband out in a very public area, and while that's not something that I normally do, and it's not something that I advocate for, it's like, nah, you keep your business at home. At that moment, I felt like I needed to do it. Like, I didn't care who was out there. Nothing.
No, but do you feel like you were right?
No. I know I was wrong because that wasn't the place for it.
Right.
But I won't take away how I felt. And I won't take away that I felt like I needed to get that out at that moment. Holding it in would have made it worse, in my opinion.
Would you have handled it any different? Or you
I
feel like that?
I wouldn't have done it out there. I wouldn't have spazzed the way that I did, but...
And if I was Rob, I would have slapped your face.
And that could have been a consequence to it. He did a very good job.
So
Shout out to my boo.
how would you have handled it differently? Like, you feel like in the future, if it happened again?
I would have left.
You know? That was the best you could have done in that moment with how you was feeling. You feel like just leaving would have been.
I probably
the right
needed to
thing.
get away from him.
Right.
Because I was fuming.
You know, people say, never go to sleep mad or something like that.
I try to stand by that.
I don't know how I feel about it.
Why?
My thing is, there's nothing wrong with being mad.
I'm not disagreeing.
You know what I'm
with
saying?
that.
It's like there's nothing wrong with being in conflict and disagreeing, not seeing eye to eye. But sometimes there hasn't been enough thought process.
Mm-hmm.
There hasn't been enough emotional process. And if y'all keep trying to attack the situation, it's only gonna get worse. Like you got constructive conversation and destructive. And sometimes when people are mad, it's going to be destructive. So I think going to bed and really just seeing how you feel about the shit and then wake up with a fresh perspective, a fresh view. So that's what I'm saying. Like I get what people
you can
mean.
either do that or you can just separate for the time being. Like,
if possible,
That's me.
if you
I
can
have to separate
because I do live by the like you don't know what tomorrow brings.
Right.
Like I don't want to be in a conflict with you and I done got mad at something happened to you. And my last conversation was me arguing with you about something that we could have easily gotten over. And I'm not saying that you can't be mad and be in your feelings about stuff, but I personally try not to dwell on things too long. I can't.
I think another issue when we talk about conflict is people think that being disrespectful is a part of the conflict. It's like never in us being mad or disagreeing doesn't mean being disrespectful.
Right.
Getting loud, calling each other out of your name.
Right.
Like you don't have to include that. And so when you think about it that way, it's like, go to bed. You know, you ain't on 100. You can still kiss and say, I love you. We don't have to have smoke.
Most people, yeah.
We just
that's
not
the mature
in
way
a
to do
good
it.
space.
Mature
But
way to do it,
that's
yeah.
how I think it should be. And once we understand that you can not agree, you can disagree, not get along, and still be in a very healthy relationship.
That takes really good communication.
I agree. I have to walk away because when I'm here, it's harder for me to come back down. So when I know that I'm here, I have to walk away to try to digress and get myself together because I feel like I might say some shit I don't want to say. I might express things that I really don't feel just because I'm mad at the moment.
Right.
So I agree with separating.
No, I was just gonna say I believe that it's all about knowing how to argue, right? Because arguing, a lot of people, you know, they get into these heated arguments, calling each other names and stuff because they don't know how to disagree,
Right?
And I think a lot of it is about, you know, knowing how to and communicating,
Right.
Having
And
effective
see, with this level right here, go enjoy your vacation. You know what I'm saying? Like we'll talk when you get back. But if
a level of understanding.
suffering, right? If I'm suffering and I'm understood and I'm just feeling uneasy, the last thing I want to feel is dismissed about it.
Right. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's you know, that's how I felt. So fuck you. Oh, he's serious today. All right, let me leave him alone. You know what? Because I ain't even gonna fuck with you later. Don't try to make up with me later. If you're gonna do this on camera, you better keep this same energy.
So pretty on camera, and I'm
pretty much the debate, because I wasn't here the last one. So the debate is you shouldn't bring up a problem with your significant other while they're on vacation, or y'all feel like it's a problem to do so, right?
I feel like it depends on what we're talking about.
Yeah. I wanted context.
I was just saying it's a time and place for, like, if we leave home and you know we got like a little argument, it don't matter what it was, but that would be something that I would have to, even if they were going on vacation and we had an argument, I'm not going to call them while they're on vacation with their girls or whoever having a good time to call them and talk about something that I felt like can wait. And it's vice versa. That's just because I don't feel like they need to be out there. They're supposed to be enjoying their time. They're already going to go there with the thing on their mind as far as like, I just left home, just had an argument, whatever. Right. Then I'm calling or they're calling and we're talking about it again. How can you even enjoy? Because you got to understand, you was invited on this trip with your friends. Everybody's having a good time and you sitting there just throwing the whole energy and the vibe off. I mean, who won't have an issue with that? I would. If everybody's trying to have a good time and every time we turn around, you over in the corner arguing, and you know what I'm saying? Like, I would want to respect what they have going on. We would discuss this when you get back. That was just my
when is it
on
okay, Sean?
As far as what?
Like, when is it okay for them to do that? Depending on what you're talking about.
When
it's not okay at all.
We get back home.
So it's not okay at all while you're on vacation? Or does it at all depend on
I'll put it like this then. When it's time where everybody's winding down, and everybody's not in a group set, and then you go back to your room or whatever, then if you want to talk about it, then yeah.
How am I supposed to know that? And I'm in my feelings at the time.
You're a little bit with the drama, because why would you even bring that around your homeboy? You know what I'm saying? Like,
but you get what I'm saying. But that's what I'm saying. Why would you bring that? Meaning, like, if we out and you constantly,
I feel like he should have controlled that. Like, listen,
he
babe,
or
when
she.
I get back
That's
to
what I'm
the
saying.
room, I'll call
I'm saying
you
he
and we can
or
talk about
she.
it. But I'm not gonna keep doing that in front of.
That's what I'm saying. I was saying time and place.
Yeah,
like,
I can agree with you on
who
that.
he or she. Like, say everybody wind down. Okay, we going in for another week. We going somewhere else. Everybody go take a shower. Whatever.
For a second and
you know what I'm saying?
Right.
You know, get back to it.
Yeah, but that's
I
what I'm
want
saying.
my
The
man
time
to
and
enjoy
place
it.
for it. You know, that's all I was saying.
But yeah, I agree with that time and place, and I wouldn't want to argue while I'm on vacation. Like, now, if she calling to rectify the situation and we can make it a little bit better, then you know I'm all for that.
Yeah.
Because one thing about it, like, let's say you arguing with your shorty before she leave, she go out of town, she mad with you, right? Like, that pros a lot of people, man, to be like, well, forget him. I'm hot with him anyway.
That's what I said.
I'm gonna cheat and do whatever I want to do on this vacation.
Even though I wouldn't.
Like,
do
for
that.
real, like, honest, man, I know it's a hard left turn, but I'm just saying.
No,
Like,
you're right.
people-
right.
people
you are,
do that,
and it lends
It
them an
happens.
excuse.
Right.
Yeah, give them an
A
excuse,
real
right?
good
That's what I'm saying.
excuse too. Like,
That's
well,
what
we
I'm
won't
saying.
even talking. You ain't even answer the phone. And I posed that. I was just joking because I wouldn't do that. I was like, well, what if I'm out of town and I want to do something? You talking about what? Do
Right.
it.
Right.
Don't
Yeah,
dismiss
you said
how they
that.
feel. Let them know, like, right, I'm gonna call you back. We're gonna talk about it later. Right now.
That's all I'm saying. But
Yeah.
just like any great family, we got through that. And I love y'all.
Bring
And
it
I miss
back.
y'all. But okay, so let's switch gears then. Because I wanted to know what y'all thought about this. Let me get it because I don't want to read the wrong things. So 31-year-old Ohio softball coach faces years in prison after she had sex with a 17-year-old student 8 times and then begged him not to report her.
I seen something about that.
She faces years in prison. She's 31. He's 17.
So what, a statutory rape?
I think that's probably
Under 18?
one of the, yeah. But how do you, I think I was on the phone with you. We was talking about how we felt about it. I just have questions. I can't say right, wrong, illegal. Yes, it's illegal. You know what I'm saying? But in my mind, I'm thinking this nigga's 17.
Yeah.
He's 17. You with the shits. You know what's going on. Then y'all did it 8 times. So it's not rape. You know what I'm saying? Like
It's
she
not.
ain't got
It
him
was
in the
consensual.
corner.
Yeah.
You know.
It was consensual
It's none
at
of
that
that.
point.
It was
Consensual,
very
yeah.
consensual. So I'm like, why? You know what I'm saying? Who told?
Like you said,
Now he-
teeth.
Teeth.
I want her teeth.
But
I
she
don't
gotta
know how
hold
I feel about
She
that.
has to hold herself accountable when she knew what she was getting into.
He's a young boy and he's a teenager, so they're
But
You
what
get what I'm saying?
but see-
I feel like she
their
might have
hormones are
manipulated
raging.
him.
Let me get your whole
their
point
their
out.
hormones are raging. Like they're just making just wild decisions. He sees a woman who's interested in him. He's not even thinking about the fact that she's 31. She's probably experienced. What is she? Is she married? Is she dating somebody else? Like he has no idea what that life is with a 31-year-old woman or what she could potentially be putting into his mind, making him feel like he, no.
I agree.
I'm just saying,
I
the
feel
nigga's
like it was a no-go from the
17.
beginning.
I don't want to talk about him
But
like
he's still a
11.
child.
So
He's
what
still a child.
after
I don't
8
like it.
times, who
After
told
8
on
times,
who?
that's what I got questions because
I
I'm
feel like
like,
he got caught by his parents.
Potentially.
And then
Possibly,
he had
and
to
then
handle
they
it a certain
reported.
way. Yes,
Rightfully
very
so.
much
So my question, how she look though?
she's
That
not
plays
a
in the
bad looking
factor.
girl. She
I'm
wasn't
saying,
bad looking.
is she bad though?
For a 17-year-old, I felt like she was
Yeah.
a good looking woman.
Is she like?
And he a
pace-
young
'cause if
boy
she
and
like,
an older woman want him?
Yes.
Come on now.
He
No,
owned
is she,
it.
is she, is she like pasty?
Correct.
Nah, bro, she need to go to jail.
No, she's a brunette.
Does
Matter
that
of fact, I
part
got a
depend?
picture. Let me try to pull it up real
Also
quick.
the
No, she did.
She ain't
So
that
my-
bad. She not bad looking.
Oh no, I would have clapped no
I
drinks
can't
at
see that
17.
far.
But no, that's what I'm saying. I hate when we become parents,
clapped no
right?
drinks at 17.
We have children, and then we act like we weren't. At 17, I was wide open.
At
like
17,
you're
I
not
wasn't
thinking
dealing with
about
a 30-year-old man.
You probably weren't
But
dealing 30, but that's you. You was. I'm saying you wasn't no coddled ass kid.
But the older I
I'm
get,
I'm not disagreeing with that.
Now that I'm older, I feel like, what do you want with me? You're that much older. What do you want with me? Like,
You
I
know
don't
that
want
nigga probably was set up.
what do
He's
you want with my
17.
But see,
child?
when I was 19,
I don't
I
like
ain't
it.
gonna count. When I was 19, I had a 40-year-old.
Oh,
At 19.
But this is why I wanted to have
But-
the actual conversation. We understand that it's illegal. We get that.
But 19
so
to
she's
40 ain't
facing
illegal though.
years. I know, but still that age gap.
19 and 40
so
is a
now
bigger
my
age
argument
gap.
is really, so just in another year it would have been okay.
no.
That's my point. That's
One
that-
more year in his age, it would have been okay for
That-
her to
Because
have
he's
sex
still
with
not
him.
mature. No.
So he's more mature at
But
19.
she wouldn't be facing
Or
jail
18.
time.
I
though.
don't think you were
No, I'm
mature
saying-
enough to
I'm
deal with a 40-year-old
so
woman.
she was more mature. He was more mature at 18 and 17.
I don't think he was. I don't think he's mature at 20 to be dealing with somebody 10 or 20 years older than him. No, I,
agree.
don't.
But by
I
law,
agree completely.
if he would have did it at 18, she wouldn't be
She
facing
wouldn't
no
be in any
charges.
trouble.
That is
so that's
true.
what
I would
I'm
still be
asking
mad. There's
y'all.
nothing I can
What is
legally
that
do about
big
it.
Like,
It shouldn't be.
Where is the outrage?
it
like,
shouldn't be.
aside from it being illegal, we all understand the laws. But
Yeah, shouldn't be.
I'm like,
So switch that if that was your daughter who was 17 or 19
I would
or
be
17
mad. I
and
don't
31.
like age differences at all, especially not that large. But it's like, I remember when I was 16 and I'm really dealing with 22-year-olds and it's norm. I don't know if that's just some hood shit, some nigga shit, or whatever, but it was acceptable.
But do you also, at that, you were controlled in that too.
That's what I'm saying about him.
No, what I'm saying is he controlled that relationship. You understand what I'm saying?
No.
Yeah,
Not
he did.
him. I'm saying all
Brent,
my
I
little
know.
years, I dated older, got the drug dealers and all of that stuff. And it was just so normal. Nobody was outraged. They know he's
But
older.
what did he want with that much younger?
None of that
not
matters.
His age.
I wanna
What does that
keep
say about
the-
you?
He's
Either-
childish because he fucking with me. And
That's
I think
what I'm saying.
I think
But
I'm cool because I'm fucking
but
with
we
him.
also know that particular person was older and he controlled that relationship because you were younger.
Yes.
We talking about the sex. I just want to stay.
But they had sex.
I
That's what
want
we're
to stay
discussing.
on
So that's
topic.
why I said I would
That's
not
the
be
topic,
okay
though.
with my son doing that because she is 31 years old. He's 17. She's controlling that.
Yes.
She's
You don't
controlling
know
him.
that. You don't know that.
I can almost guarantee it.
She's
What-
older.
He's fucking because he want to fuck, but she can manipulate him any kind of way that she wants to.
What if he was laying the Mac on her?
Because I can
So
say
what
when
does it say
I
about her,
when I
though?
was 19 and the shorty was 41, she wasn't controlling me.
That's what I'm saying.
I was just sending the clocks
when
with
I was
cheeks.
dating
That's
other
what you
dudes,
thought.
they wasn't controlling me.
wasn't.
They
She
probably
wasn't.
was
I was
luring
kicking
me
her out
in
the
with
crib.
lifestyle. But I'm saying the
Hey.
community
What
at
crib
large
was you at?
was
Was
not
you at your mama crib?
outraged by that.
Whose crib would you at?
I would go to my
What
homeboy crib. My
community?
homeboy's had a crib.
My
You would kick her
community.
out of that and she had
Yeah.
her own crib?
Yeah.
The people
So,
around
yeah.
me, my
she let you
friends.
think that. That's manipulation.
Why you say that?
I feel like it was manipulated. She has more experience. She's older, and I just feel like she was manipulating him.
So-
The
what-
thing
so
is,
what-
is
so
the,
what do
the
you-
question is, what do she want with a 17-year-old?
Exactly. That's what I'm
Would.
Because I
saying.
mean,
That too.
honestly though, back then,
Get her cheeks
you
clapped.
know, 17, 16-year-old, you look young
I
as
feel
hell.
like that. It don't even
They
Now-
still look young.
but
They just
now-
got on wigs.
No, I'm saying like back then when we was growing up, goddamn, you know your age.
Well,
Like,
I
that
wasn't
motherfucker
no
look young.
regular 17-year-old.
So in a situation like
You
that,
still
what
had
is
a young
being
face.
manipulated?
I'm sorry.
In my
Say it
opinion.
again, I'm sorry.
Going back to Marissa's statement, in a situation like that, what's being manipulated? Because she's not
That's what I
manipulating me
don't understand.
emotionally.
He did it 8 times.
Right. She not
I
manipulating me
didn't say that
financially.
she did, but I said
Where's
she could at any given point. She could. I
I feel like she's more experienced. She knows what to say.
But do y'all think it
how to
warrants
handle
jail
it.
time?
And he don't really
by
know.
law, yes.
Years.
I think so.
By law.
I
By
really
law,
think
by
so.
law.
But I
And
wouldn't
by
say
law,
years,
you knew
but-
that.
But that's
you
what
knew
I keep
that.
saying, we
You
have
should have
to-
waited till you turned 18.
How long she
want
getting
to
for that?
separate. It didn't say. It just said faces years in prison.
I wouldn't say years. I wouldn't put her in.
Yeah, I
think
mean, it
that-
says
I don't-
that,
I
but
just
honestly
don't like
though,
it.
I
I
don't
would.
think it's gonna hold
Switch
up to
that
the point where
around.
she actually goes to
17
jail.
and you in your
They probably
30s.
would. She probably would if she was she probably lose her job.
No,
she
them-
probably had to register on the what's it called? The,
Them
the
women
sex
be going
offender.
to jail. What you
She
talking
gotta-
about?
But I
Them
mean, they say
teachers?
that all the time. But then you never know what type of
her
lawyer that
lawyer
they
and shit
have,
comes
and
out.
you
I
know what
don't
I'm
want
saying.
They be
someone
going to
in their
jail.
30s dealing with my 17-year-old son, period.
No, we
Like,
don't want that. But we be like, would you really be like, that bitch, she 31?
Yes,
she
I
fucking with
would.
my baby.
I
You would feel
would.
that way?
Yes.
You talking to two mothers who have sons?
Correct.
Absolutely.
I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I'm glad I ain't got no son.
So you would.
I'm not saying that I would
so how would you
condone
feel-
it, but
Okay.
I would know my son like that nigga just messing with an older woman.
Okay, what about your daughter? How
Older
would you feel
woman
about your
is
daughter
22.
messing with someone who's
I
17?
don't like it, but then again, you're talking to someone who's a product of that, so I can't.
But
have
you're
the
saying you're a
fake-ass
product of, you're the one that's
outrage.
younger, dealing with someone who's older man. But how would you feel about your daughter being older and dealing with someone 17? Like, why do you feel like you got to deal with
I
someone
would think
that's...
it's a little bit lame, but I'm not gonna act like, oh my God, you deserve jail time. It's at 17.
By law, yes, you
unless
do.
he's like autistic. But fuck the law. I get that it's illegal. Like
Right.
we know it's illegal from the start. I'm just saying the real.
So are you putting past if it wasn't the law, it would be okay?
I'm saying, do y'all feel like in one more year it would be okay?
No.
Because now he's not legal. I mean,
No,
it's not illegal.
I feel like by law
Oh, he
she should
18
take
now?
she should take her
I don't know.
her consequences. But at 18, I feel like it's still a little skeptical. Like, why you want to deal with an 18-year-old and you in your 30s?
So what's
Like,
his
why?
consequences?
I don't know if he has any.
But right, and that's my point. See, it takes two to tango.
That's what I'm saying.
You know what I'm
But
saying?
you can argue he's 17. She could be telling him like, it's cool, we can do this. You're not gonna get
He's
in
not
trouble.
illiterate.
He's
At
not
17,
illiterate.
you're a
They
grown
keep
man.
acting like he's
Nobody
eight.
At 17,
You're
you
not
are
a grown
legally
man at 17.
At 17, you are legally
You're
ready
not
for.
grown, but I know y'all was
At 17, you
lit
ain't
at
legally
17.
doing
At,
nothing.
at 17,
He
you
know
are
what hole
legally
to put it
ready
in.
for society.
It's 8
You are
times.
legally.
You know
you
what?
are legally.
Times, yeah,
I
yeah.
definitely lit at 17, but the
Saying that
older
you-
I get, I feel like, what did you want with me as a teenager and you in your 30s? Like,
Yeah,
if
we
anything, that
all
makes
get
me look
that.
at you sideways.
You sat there at 17 and
So let me
legally
ask you a
ready to be in
question.
society.
Is the question
That's not
is
true.
but did she
at
initiate it?
18,
We don't
at
know.
18, you are legally ready for society.
But that does
by
not mean
law.
that you're ready.
So, whoa. Let
Mentally.
me finish. By 18, you are legally ready for society. So that means that you're going to be charged as an adult at 18 for anything that you do. That means you're grown by law. Another year ain't going to mean nothing. If he's 17, and you know what I'm saying? I don't think she should do jail time behind that.
But
I'm not
mentally,
harping on the whole 17,
by law,
18.
yes, mentally, no.
With me, it's just the age
because you
gap.
have 18-year-olds, 19-year-olds, 20-year-olds who cannot take care of themselves. They can't provide for themselves. They can't do nothing for
That
themselves.
don't have
And
nothing
then-
to do with
but
their genitals.
That ain't got nothing to do with their genitals, though. Yeah.
Still,
Yes, it does.
you're saying based off of what
So
you said
it
by
does.
law. You said by law.
By law.
You said by law. By 17, you should be able to take care of yourself. That's not always true.
I said by 17, you're legal. I mean, by 18, you're legally ready for the
You
world.
initially said
By
17.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean 17.
Okay.
18.
Okay.
By 18, you're legally ready for the world. So by 18, it's a lot of laws that you could be penalized for at 18 that you can't, that you necessarily wouldn't be penalized as harsh
17,
for when
right.
you're younger. Right. So in that extra year, he'll be legally ready for the world.
But do you
In a
feel like
sense.
it's still
Legally,
right?
that
That
not
age gap, do
mentally.
you feel
So,
like that
but
age
we're
gap
but we're
is still-
talking about legally. She got charged legally, right?
Right.
So legally, she shouldn't have to do so much jail time.
Legally, yes.
You see what I'm saying?
Legally, she does.
But I think their thing, and maybe because y'all have sons, I don't know, but y'all are looking at it like, what she had to be manipulated. Like y'all looking at him like a poor
Yeah.
victim. When
Right,
y'all
he's
boys
not.
fucked
And
that
he's
baby
not.
But we
And he was
also
probably the one
know
controlling it.
17, 18, 19 does not deem you to be
It doesn't matter.
Psychologically
You're not
sane.
11
So-
though.
so-
I'm still
so-
like,
so
but
I-
we
but
y'all
we
was
still
fully.
at 17.
When
But we
did you
also
lose your
said-
virginity? Cut the bullshit. When did you lose your virginity?
14.
Thank you.
Thank
when
you.
did you lose your virginity?
But not to a
Thank you.
22-year-old man.
So I can go back. I can go buy a whole
But it
shotgun.
wasn't
I
with
can
a
buy a whole
30,
shotgun from the store at 18, but I can't get no
No,
pussy.
my age gap. What I'm saying is y'all was grown enough to be fucking.
But I won't fucking somebody in their 30s
Hey,
though.
but hold up. So
That makes it a
check
little
it.
different.
So I can go to the
Did I
army.
just tell everybody when I lost my virginity?
Grown.
I don't give
So I can go to the army, lose my life for this country, buy cigarettes,
definitely did
buy
that.
guns at 18, but I can't get no pussy.
Thank
But
you.
I can't get no. Come on, man.
And then-
Really?
and-
Who
and
said
then-
you
Really?
couldn't?
But also
Really?
the way that
No.
y'all
But the
are
law
giving
says
him-
you cannot do it with somebody over 18.
Right, which is stupid. The law say a lot of stuff that's stupid.
But she knew that going in.
Exactly.
He
so
knew
you
that
gotta take
too.
your
But
this is
consequences.
But he's
another
not the one
thing.
that's gonna get charged for it.
Exactly, and why not?
This is another perspective.
He knew it was wrong,
What
didn't
if she is childish as hell and she's not 31 emotionally and mentally?
Right.
And he the little manipulator, little Jeffrey Dahmer.
Right.
Not
Right.
Jeffrey Dahmer.
Yeah.
He not.
You
he,
know?
You took it a little
He
bit
ain't
too
kill
far.
I'm saying he ain't
That's
killing,
not a
but
good
Jeffrey
example.
Dahmer was
At
fucking
all.
them people.
Yeah.
That's not even
Little
on
young
topic.
weirdo.
That don't have
Yeah.
nothing to do
I'm
with the fuck
saying
we
y'all
talking
acting
about.
like because he's 17 that he's
Like he just
so
don't do
helpless,
nothing.
like he a little
Yeah.
kitten
Like,
or
nah,
something.
he
I
not.
don't give a damn.
That bitch
That
damn near
nigga
grown.
probably was
She got
building
caught.
bombs in his
Yeah,
room.
he
All
down
She
there
shit
got
grown.
caught,
And she should own
she
that
gonna
shit.
have to deal with it. Like, period. She knew that. She,
Correct.
as being the older one, she knew that. She knew
We
the
know she knew
consequences.
that.
Well,
She just
So
wants
it's
some
like
skin.
it is what it
I just
is.
wanna know what
Exactly.
y'all
It is
thought
what
about
it
it.
is.
I don't
She
feel
knew
like-
what
But
she was
y'all
getting
lost
into.
your
I should've
virginity
sympathy
at
for her. I
14. You
should
better
fuck
be
did.
quiet.
I
did
just
to
feel
my
like you know what you
15-year-old
dealing with.
boyfriend.
You better be
She
quiet.
knew what she was dealing with when she got into it. Now you got to pay for the consequences. Period.
And that's a risk.
I do agree about the consequence.
Yeah.
It is illegal, and that is the penalty for it.
That's just like going into a store and stealing.
But if
You
that
know,
was
you
my
get
little
caught, you going to
17-year-old
jail.
cousin,
And you like,
you
why
this
you
lady
saying?
about to
Like,
do jail
yeah.
time.
I get that.
For you, I'll be ready to whip
I
your
get that
ass.
part because it's kind of like you go into a store to go steal. You know, if you get caught, you're going to jail.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like she
Consequence is
knew
consequence.
messing with a
I'm all
17-year-old,
right.
it could be a possibility that we
like
may
they
get
ain't no
caught
other
doing
dick out
this.
there. I just want the
So if we get
17-year-old.
caught doing this, there's
All
a
I'm saying
possibility
is
that my old self, you know what I'm saying, could go
She
to
could have
jail.
waited a
So
year. Oh, ho.
I put it like this: she knew the consequences going into the situation. But at the same time, I don't understand. I mean, they had sex 8
Yeah.
times. She ain't forced this
He
boy to have
liked
sex
it.
with her.
I
Just
don't
like when
agree
we,
with her
when we
getting
first started
nothing.
having sex,
As
we
if
kept
he
doing
was
it
a
because we
victim.
liked it.
I don't think he was a victim at all.
No.
You just
Now
saying
you
if
knew what
do
you
the
was
crime,
dealing with.
do
You're
the time.
paying the consequences, but I don't feel like he was a victim. and
Don't
she-
touch my son.
at all. At all.
But at the same time, though, you
Because
never.
I'm in my 30s. Let's go.
But see, the thing
Exactly
is,
that
though,
part.
who's
But
to know
when-
that
when he's 17,
if
you're not gonna be, but he- she
and
could
this-
still
and
get-
come on now, you think
Either way.
kids really be
I
talking
ain't
to their
saying-
parents like that and telling their
if
parents
I
everything
find
they do?
out, it's gonna be an issue. Period. She gonna need some.
But that's
support,
what I'm
period.
saying, though. You think kids really be telling their parents everything they do?
No, they don't.
But you know what I do agree with, kind of there is a double standard because I would feel a little more about it if it was an older guy, younger girl. But at the same
Why?
time,
Why?
that's just my conditioning, my programming. But at the same time, I was the little girl with the older guy, so I'm fully familiar with how it doesn't feel like rape. It doesn't
You
feel
still wouldn't like it?
inappropriate. No, I wouldn't like it, but I'm saying I was
But
in it.
now that you're older,
So
how
I
do you
can't-
view it? How do you view it?
I would hope that she see him as being a buster for even wanting to do that. Me, I was kind of looking for love, so I felt like the older guy was gonna love me better than the younger guy. I was really trying to feel that father wound type of thing. I would just hope that my daughters don't feel the need to do no shit like that.
Well,
you
I'm
know?
not. I don't want to make it seem like I'm arguing the moral compass of it. Like I'm
Me
not
neither,
arguing the
but
moral
I'm with
compass
y'all,
of it.
yeah.
But I'm arguing the legal standpoint.
Right.
Of it. You
And
know what
that's
I'm
the
saying?
part that I don't
That's the
agree
part,
with.
yeah.
It's like
I don't agree with the legal.
Because say he turns 18 in 2 months, this lady in jail.
Right. That's what I'm
for
saying.
some shit he wanted
That
to
her
do
dumb
with
ass should
her.
have waited
That's what I'm
2
saying.
months.
We get that's what I'm saying. Consequence is rightfully so. You knew, that it won't right. That's why you was begging him not to report you.
A lot of the crimes don't.
But this ain't gonna be no
Don't
trauma
match
for
with
this
the
boy. He
time.
gonna be talking about,
But they
when
are
I was
what they
17,
are.
I was busting a 31 year. Like, this is gonna be bragging rights for him.
It's
Meanwhile,
bragging rights for the boy.
this
It's
lady
not that way
did-
for the girl.
It don't
she's the
matter.
one
She's
facing
doing the
consequences.
time though. And he
Right,
gonna
and
be
that- and
dapping
that's
his
the-
niggas up.
That's what I'm saying.
That's
from
what
a,
I don't
from
like.
A,
Dumbass
from a
should've
moral
done.
perspective, like of course we don't want our kids dealing with somebody way older, especially when they're adolescents,
Right.
dealing with
Yeah,
somebody
you
way
still
older.
figuring
we don't
out
want
life.
That. Right. We don't want
You're
that.
dealing with
But
somebody older.
from a legal compass, it's like, man, that's kind of
kinda
stupid.
right.
He right there at 18. Man, let him
Right
get
there.
some, man.
And he
I'm with it.
definitely knew what he
Let
was
him
doing.
get
Let
some.
him get
Let him
some
get
in,
some.
Release
in 2
that girl.
months.
Yeah.
But
he about to
anyway,
be
that
gone
was
anyway.
a great
You think he ain't been
segue
doing
into
it?
double standard.
He been doing that.
We want to talk about that
You
anyway.
think that was his first piece?
No.
Probably
No.
not 31.
What?
Exactly. Don't matter the age. Cooch is cooch.
He probably lost his virginity at
It does
14.
matter.
He ain't new
Right.
to this.
He ain't new.
When
He
you
been
lose your
on,
busting
virginity?
down.
Cause he been had KY
When did I
jelly.
lose my virginity?
Yes.
I was 15 and 8 months.
The hell up.
All the way.
No, I think I was like,
I was 15.
15 and 10 months. It was like right before my
Okay.
16th birthday or whatever.
You can get your
Something like
learn. You
that.
can get your learning
was-
from
And,
that.
but you know what?
You get your learning from it. So you good. You can drive.
You can drive.
But no, this is what I want to say. I'm glad y'all asked me that, and I'm glad I get to say this because even when I lost my virginity, it wasn't peer pressure. Nobody, pressed me about it. I had decided that I had been dry humping for so long.
Yeah.
With the jeans
I was
on.
ready to see what the real thing was all about.
Right.
And all my friends were doing it. You know what I'm saying? And even when my mama asked me why, I was like, I wanted to. Like, I didn't have no good lie for her. It's like I was curious. And it's like, I think it's time for us as a family, the new family, to normalize what's actually going on and take away how we feel about it. Because all y'all had big opinions about sexual morality and lost your virginity at a very, very young age. So it's
I
like
did.
sex is happening with
Nobody
teens.
took away this-
And now
nope,
I'm
we didn't take
saying,
away the sex
I know
part.
that I'm just saying that it's happening, and I think we all need to get more comfortable about what the fuck is really going on so people can stop being behind bars. I mean, fuck her, but just period, because we all were very young, not really knowing shit about life,
Right.
but offering our bodies up to people, not really knowing the consequences and the risk and all this shit.
Oh, I knew it.
But we did it through the eyes, through the lens of children.
But does that make it right though?
It
Right.
doesn't.
I mean,
No,
because
it don't
It's not
Right.
right or wrong. It just is. So now what do we do about it?
Well, my opinion on it is, if I can keep my child from doing that, I'm gonna do that because
Of course. Of course though.
because at 14 when I lost my virginity, like I didn't know no better.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I ain't
But
had nobody
see, that's
to
what
tell.
I'm saying. I knew better. I just wanted to.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I wasn't dumb. I wasn't unlearned about sex. It's like, this is how it goes. I'm ready to see what it's about, and I'm going to keep doing it after this. So that's what I was making a statement about the 17-year-old. Like, he knows what the fuck going on.
I don't think I don't think that he doesn't. Like, I knew what I was doing. I knew what the
We all
consequences could
did,
potentially
and our
be.
kids will too. So I
Right.
feel like we need to
But
start
you're
having
not going to do it with
real-
somebody that's almost 10 years older than you. You're not doing it.
See, when I was growing up, that wasn't really a conversation.
It
that
was
we
not,
ever
I
had
don't
in
think it was
our
a
house.
conversation in anybody's
And
house.
it wasn't really explode. What's the word?
Explain?
Explore.
Explore?
Exploited.
Yeah,
Exploit.
like it is now. You got social media. You got goddamn Pornhub.
Yeah.
You
On-
got
right
all
on
of
the
that
phone.
stuff. But growing up, you know what I'm saying? I remember when me and my friends, shit, we found some little nasty magazines and shit.
Yeah, I found one.
You know what I'm saying? Like we had,
I
it was
found one
crazy.
too.
We had them looking at them,
Right.
Like, then like, oh, this girl got a lot of hair down here, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, but honestly though, like, so then I feel like as men, I mean, I'm just speaking for myself. When I started getting hard, and I like the feeling of
What age was that?
Well,
Mine's
When you
had,
started getting hard.
mine's had to be like,
Oh,
when I
no.
started getting
Hard.
erection.
man.
Oh man, that
Not
just had,
all the
that
way.
just
When
had
you
to.
started,
This just
like,
turned into
feeling
family life.
hard.
14.
Well, I
Education.
don't know because I used to
I'm
watch the
not
Fuzzy channel on
ready.
channel
Yeah,
got
like it
boys.
was,
And it was-
I like dry humping. You know what I'm
Dry
saying?
humping was
I
the
like
best.
dry
I still
humping.
like dry humping. By the
Doing
way.
tongue kissing out neighborhoods
I love
and
tongue
stuff,
kissing.
like, you know what I'm saying, like being young, just trying to be grown, tongue kissing and stuff. Your cousins are there talking about some tongue kiss. Are you tongue kissing?
Hide and go get.
You know, hide and go get, and then you like the feeling of, dang, this Jane feel good. I would love to know how this feels or something. You know what I'm saying? And then you get into
When
it.
did you lose your virginity,
you
Sean?
really- About 15 seasons, but I don't consider losing my virginity. We know what the fuck we was doing.
That's losing your
You
virginity,
did what
though.
you did, though.
That's the
Yeah,
question.
but when we know we was doing though.
We didn't ask that though.
I
He
mean, 'cause
buzzed too fast to remember.
probably
It don't
did.
count.
Yeah, it don't count.
That's wild.
No.
That's wild. That is wild.
I mean, but honestly, at that age when you not, what do you
But,
really?
but you did penetrate the jump.
Yeah.
Okay. All
But
right.
I'm saying I didn't.
Okay. I mean, because it count. It count. No, I'm just saying it count, bro.
with it.
It count.
But it was just stuff like you want to know, like I said, because as growing up, those wasn't conversations. My daddy didn't come and talk to me and my
And this
brother
is what I
about it.
mean.
You know what I'm saying? So
We all wanted to know, and that same thing is gonna happen with our kids. So let's position
Well,
ourselves.
see, I think now,
You come and ask me,
nah.
but see, for me, like I want to create like
think
an
it's too
open
much out there
dialogue
for
with my
kids.
kids.
I think
Like
they
even
see
when they
it
do
all
stuff
down
bad, and I'm
Yeah.
like, don't do that. I'd have to correct how I go about it because I'm like, if I come at them angrily, they're not going to want to talk to me, and I
Yeah.
do want them.
Yeah.
You want to talk to anybody? Please talk.
Come
to me.
talk-
Lord,
yes.
please come and talk to me.
I think we need to remove that wrong and right and bad and good. It just is what the fuck it is. Like, if ever my daughters decide to lose their virginity, that's over with. Now it's time to go to the doctors. Now it's time to have the right conversations. What the fuck is punishment gonna do? What is it going to do? Because we all knew as kids, as teenagers, we gonna make a way. Even if I gotta go out this window.
You can't really do it now.
You're not going to, they're gonna do what the fuck they wanna do.
I
And I
agree.
feel like as the new family, as us already going through this shit, experiencing it, it's time to position ourselves in a way where they come to us to know.
Right.
I agree.
They friends can't tell them shit because our
I
friends
don't-
couldn't tell us shit.
That's
No.
true.
I feel like I can't weigh in on that because I ain't got kids, so it's kind of hard.
But
to
you
say.
knew you and your niggas and how y'all was thinking. So I hope that when you have kids, you don't forget that you was once in that position.
But see, I kind of don't agree with that because when I had kids, one of my biggest regrets in life was starting sex kind of early, because it pulled me in so many different directions emotionally, and it was like, man, I really didn't know, you know what I'm saying, about
But
the
do you think you didn't know and you
know
had a
about
lack of
yourself.
support through understanding?
But see, that's what I'm saying though. Like he said, he really didn't know.
Yeah.
When you say you really didn't know about the birds, it wasn't talked about.
Right.
I'm just saying,
No,
like,
right,
it wasn't
right.
talked about in the household. So we going out here trying to, like I said, sneaking, looking at nasty stuff, and just trying to understand, like, damn, what's
Sean
a
this?
was
lot,
sneaking.
a lot of
Yeah.
what I learned from the homies out there I was hanging with, and they was learning. They ain't know nothing.
Right.
So it was
Y'all
just-
didn't know
it-
nothing
it-
together.
So my question is this: you said that you had to sneak around and do all that stuff. So what is the other side of? Do you think that you should show your kids these things so they don't have to sneak
I
around?
think it should be a conversation.
I think
That's all it can be. It's like we
Yeah.
could keep, I hope that they keep their virginity. You can't do nothing about
Right,
that
right.
when they out of the house. You could establish whatever you think you have with your kids, they gonna do it and they gonna find a way, whether they skip school. We were those kids.
I'm not disagreeing with that. But again, like I felt like I didn't get a lot of conversation about that,
I don't
which
think
made me
nobody
want to
did.
do it even more and sneak around and do it. So, like I said, I'm trying to have an open dialogue with my kids now, so they feel comfortable with
If
coming
you-
to talk to
You
me
know, I'm
about
gonna
If
say
you
it.
something. I'm gonna
had
say
the
something funny,
conversation-
right? I remember when I was younger, and when my aunt, she was pregnant, right? And I was like, "Dag, like how her stomach get big?"
Right.
And they said she ate a lot of rice.
Yeah, they used to say
And
they
stuff
swallowed
like
a
that.
watermelon.
You know what I'm saying?
You can't let your hair down.
So we was discussing sexuality, teenage sexuality, and the lack of guidance specifically in our community. I say our community because I do not know about white people and how they govern their kids. You know, like that's just something we don't know about any other community. So as far as us, a lot of us were sexually active very early. No support to, you know, moving forward. We either got punished or micromanaged after the fact, but without that understanding. And Tay was making a great point about what he felt he needed or how that would have impacted him. You want to pick that up?
Yeah. So I feel like it does need to be a lot more mentoring when it comes to kids having sex. Like,
Absolutely.
and I feel like, you know, for myself, like I didn't have a lot of guidance. So coming up, you know, I learned a lot of my stuff from the homies outside.
Yeah.
But they was learning from the homies outside too. So everybody's learning was just
The
messed
blind
up.
leading the blind.
Yeah, right. It was the blind leading the blind. Everything was messed up. But had I had a proper guidance, I would have known, hey, not to smash them in the shorties and
Right.
to focus more so on you know, getting money and more things that's productive spiritually, you know, mentally. Like I would have had more focus on those things versus chasing skirts and chasing women.
Right. How you feel about hip hop? I mean, because I feel like that is the soundtrack to sexuality in kids and adults. It's like all we hear all day is about sex.
But music back then, when I go back to high school for me, like even some of the stuff that was like some of the songs, like I didn't take it verbatim. Like, for example, I used to love Eminem, but Eminem used to talk about like suicide, drugs, but it never made me want to like do that. I just liked it. It was like, I love Eminem. I used to listen to his music. So I don't know what the shift was, but now it's like,
Oh, now they just outright say pussy in that R&B
they do, and it's
songs.
like, and kids
Luther
are
Vandross would never.
kids are like literally doing what they hear.
Yeah.
I don't know what the
No,
what
it
the
ain't
shift
kids.
was.
It's not kids. It's
Or
everybody.
it is.
It's like when you go to the club, you are guaranteed to hear sex and homicide
Yeah.
and
all
drugs.
night.
Yeah.
Drugs and alcohol and money and bitches.
But see, that's why I listen to my old school. Y'all don't be liking what I be listening to.
We love your old
Because
school
when
playlist,
I even being older now, and I listen to old school music,
That's all I
if you
listen
really
to.
listen to the lyrics,
They love each other, didn't they?
SWV talking about sleeping with somebody knowing they got a whole girlfriend. You
Oh,
know what I'm
yeah, they
saying?
did.
I'm
Oh,
so
niggas talk-
I'm
they
so
did
into you
talk
like
It was in
it
code.
just- but
yeah.
I feel like the old school music, like Carl Thomas, all them, they had meaning behind what they were saying.
One thing, R&B music, the men loved women. It was love songs. Like I found myself listening to love songs and I'm like, damn, like it feel good to hear.
Honestly, if you think about it, the women's songs a little bit more like, oh, let's talk about like,
I just sent you some. I never want to say it was. I sent it to somebody because it was the what's people who say I heard it through the grapevine. What's them people?
The little raisins.
California Raisins.
No, it won't. No, it was the. Nah, it was the. If you love me, say
oh my
it.
gosh,
If you
Brownstone.
show
that song was just in my head.
Brownstone.
I was just about to,
I
oh
don't
my
need
God.
to make something. Dang, it was something, but she was saying she want more than some dick. And the
Right,
lyrics
in
of the
the
song.
song.
As
Even when
kids
I was
growing
that
up,
age, I
we
was
don't be
listening to that.
hearing
I know what
like,
it was really
them,
saying.
you know, because
Right.
somebody had posted that all these years
We were
they
just
never
listening
knew.
to the melody.
You know what I'm saying?
And learning the words. We won't
Not even the
reading
word.
the words.
Right.
But
You
I-
don't understand the words.
Yeah.
But
You
I
understand
always
that
the
could
old
be
school,
the
man.
case still.
I
Now
don't,
it's
this
like
new school
you
stuff
don't
I
have
can't
to
get
think
with,
about it.
bro.
It's just clear.
Big old freak. Big old freak.
Hey,
I'm making
Yeah,
pay for the pussy.
I feel like mass communication.
Bow.
I feel like mass communication and family, man, is two things that really influence the society.
what?
Like mass communication, so like music, TV, movies,
Right.
and then your family. Because just think, as a kid, those are the first two things that a human being comes in contact with. So those are the main two things that's going to influence and shape that child.
Right.
What you taught as a child and what you look at,
The
listen to.
primary
and-
relationships and
Right.
your atmosphere.
Right.
Absolutely. Especially ages 2 to 7.
Exactly.
R. Kelly raised me.
2? 2 to 7?
2 to 7 is the most programmable years for
Yeah,
like by the
that
time
part,
you're
yeah.
7, what you've been exposed to is the bulk of who you are. 2 to 7, you operating on a total different brainwave. But I ain't gonna get into my nerdy shit. Even though I could, I'm gonna wait for Joe Rogan though. Anyway, so I like what you said about that because we all missed out. Well, not all, but I know I did. I can speak for myself. I didn't know how sex will impact me and my relationships and dating and even protecting yourself. You don't know how serious it is until you get in that fire, you know, and get your ass
I used to
burnt.
think I wanted to be pregnant.
Of course, I think you know what? I'm glad you said that too, because I definitely am one of those people who had my kids based on the next step. It's like, we've been together so many years, like we done got comfortable. Now it's time to have a baby. Totally not thinking about my future, their future. It was like
you was in the moment.
The next thing to do.
Right.
But it wasn't, because both of my kids were planned. We had to plan them, and now that I'm thinking about it, I'm like, why the fuck did I feel situated enough to care for people? I don't regret my kids, but that's definitely, I'm not letting my kids have children based on having nothing else to do. It's like, go situate yourself, and then you probably wouldn't even want no damn kids once you get going and living and thriving. You know, but I mean,
thank you, Lord.
What do you do? What do you do?
And it's sad, and honestly, I'm gonna be real with you, man. As I gotten older, yo, it's like, boy, God bless everyone who has children. But it ain't for Sean. It was to the point it was so bad.
So you don't want kids at all, Sean?
No.
Nothing wrong with that.
It was to the point. No.
Would you date a woman with kids?
I don't know. Shoot. No, I'm just being honest, because it would get to the point where I would go out with my mom. And man, like, we would see people out and stuff. She'd see, oh, your son handsome. He ain't got no kids. My mama tell them, Sean say he ain't had no kids by 30. If he ain't got none now, he ain't had none.
But
I ain't
Sean,
even had to
you
say
seem
nothing.
like you good with kids, though.
I'm good with everybody else's kids, just not my own.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Blame you,
but kids nowadays,
Ain't nothing wrong.
I talk to my friends who got kids, and they tell me all the time, if I knew then what I know now,
fuck them kids. I definitely would be a single woman, no kids, just living my life, and not even to like be selfish. It's just so much to experience by yourself.
Just do you live your life, go about what you want to do, your goals and your dreams before you just decide to just have kids.
But kids are a
Just
blessing,
don't.
and see that's what I don't understand though. Honestly. It be so many people out here, man, who be like, hand kids, and just be like, it just happened. No, it didn't just happen, because I feel like so many people try to use that excuse. It just happened. It won't supposed to happen.
Just happened.
But yeah, you're not protecting yourself from it not happening.
Right. You definitely won't prevent it.
Exactly.
Sean, you protecting yourself from having them?
What you mean?
You know what the fuck I mean. You know what prevents
I'm gonna make a statement. Sean said he's not having no kids, so therefore I must be doing something right. I'm 34 years old.
Say she on birth control.
Nah. Always use a rubber on these joints nowadays.
Nah, you got to.
You got to. That
word makes my throat itch.
Well, use a Trojan man on these women.
You a Trojan man?
Because there's so many people humping everybody. It's just so much.
Yo, you know they got the Trojan minis now? I know that's kind of off topic.
Trojan minis. I'm glad they did that, because a lot of people needed those.
Yeah.
Oh, that was some real.
Why
they got the Trojan minis.
I thought that was like a joke.
Properly.
Nah.
Just because they have a smaller.
I heard they really got the Trojan minis. That's what I heard.
No, I've seen something, but
do you
I thought
feel
it was
like
a joke.
you're having a small dick, you got to bring more to the table?
No.
Nah.
It just depends on the woman, because you have women who a big, large part ain't necessary for their sexual fulfillment.
You tearing up my wall.
Right. He getting a job done somewhere. But it would be nice if you don't have that. It would be nice to have.
That's so funny.
Other
I got a story.
Is it a requirement?
For me, it is.
I got a story. I remember I was in
doing no mini Trojans.
I think I was in middle school. Right, and we went middle school. You had like these little parties and stuff. And we go to the little kid parties, and everybody be dancing, on each other. And I went to a dance or whatever, and came back to school the next day. And this was middle school, and the girls was like, "Sean, you got a big dick." So
What? Wait. What?
That's
but it was for real.
The story was going
In middle school. I'm being honest with you.
Hold on, no. This is the funny part.
Wow.
Every time.
That's wild.
No, let me tell y'all. Every time this nigga get drunk and he start talking his shit, he be like, they can say whatever the fuck they want to say about Sean, but this dick long. I be like, whoa. What your shirt on.
He gonna let y'all know.
Say, get this nigga his shoes. Sean gonna come out that shirt. If he don't got this shirt on, he drunk. Take him home. Put him in the
No,
car,
but on
lock
some
the
real
door.
though, as a man though, sometimes like I'm bow-legged. Man, everybody know that.
It's Sean.
No, I'm not getting into like explicit, but I'm just saying on some real.
So you
No,
hang
what
around
I'm saying
business.
is,
You don't wanna
let me hear my boy
no,
out.
as a man, sometimes like you hear comments and stuff. As a man,
they
they
be
could
like,
be
I
somewhere
know he-
uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Like as a
Maybe,
for real,
look.
I'm just being honest because you don't
I
want to hear
even
that all the
legs
time.
up. I see them legs from across the room. I be like, oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like, sometimes that shit can be uncomfortable though. Like it's
do.
like,
Why you uncomfortable?
But
You know you
I
slanging.
Because he know he
constantly hear
being
it
eaten
though.
up by the wolves.
I constantly hear it, and I ain't make my legs like this. Just how I was
He
born.
hey, you got
Like I
your
remember
shit off
Brittany was
this
like, "Show you
episode.
bow-legged?" I was like, "Yeah." Like as long as I've known her,
Wait,
I
I
ain't
didn't
never
know you was
noticed it.
She never
bow-legged.
noticed it.
Severely.
I didn't know.
I never
I
known
was
one
saying,
to think that.
what?
Stop talking about it.
No, I
What
wasn't saying
happened?
ooh like that.
I know. See, they being inappropriate, and I don't like it.
I didn't know what she was saying.
Next subject, Tori. Just go to the next one. Go to the next one. See, that's why you can't talk around.
I know. Are we continuing to come? Are we moving
Yeah,
on?
yeah.
Because you say about 2 minutes.
Because we're not talking about your penis no
No,
more.
I'm about to explain to you what I was saying, but I ain't want to
Okay.
get
that's
into
wild.
it.
Tell me
Yeah, let's
about
get off
the
that all
Facebook
Yeah,
together. That's
I'm
crazy.
trying to. That's why I was like, I ain't want to get.
Okay, so that's it for this episode of WWJD, the podcast. We'll be back for part 2.
And as always, shout out to Tori Slade Media Company holding us down with the visuals for the podcast.
Appreciate it.
First of all, she mixed my shit with Mountain Dew. Period.
And tequila.
Your heart gonna be like this.
You don't know whether to stay up or go to sleep.
I ain't never heard nobody water or nothing in Mountain Dew. Joe, but you didn't even take a sip. I have been sipping.
That's why she's so angry.